At T-Mobile, our critical mission is providing unparalleled 5G coverage for when connectivity is mission critical. Introducing T-Priority, America's best 5G network experience for first responders, even in times of congestion. More capacity, faster speeds, better coverage. T-Priority from T-Mobile, built for tomorrow's emergencies, ready today. Discover more at t-priority.com.
For qualifying organizations on eligible rate plans, coverage not available in some areas and may be impacted by emergencies.
It's time for the show that brings the magic right to your speakers. Ears Up!
What's up, everybody? EarzUp Podcast. We have a show tonight for you. I don't really fully understand what we're doing. I think this is just one of those things where after like 14 years of doing these shows, we decided to be like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to just do whatever we want to do. We're talking about whatever we want to talk about. Something that's cool for everybody involved on this side of the microphones anyway. Which
sure is a show.
Yeah, it's a show. It has nothing to do with Disney at all. Has nothing to do with Disneyland. I mean, maybe you can make a comparison and we might get to that point at some point. But if you're looking for like Disney content, that isn't really, we have Disney news and that's about it. But today on the show, we're doing a special segment of Erik's eating again, but it's a focused segment. And it's about Erik's trip. Can't believe we're doing this. It's about Erik's trip to Casa Bonita in Denver, Colorado, in Colorado territory. And as Erik said, some people consider it the Disneyland of Mexican restaurants. But
there you go.
I don't know who those people are. I think those people are Erik and RGH, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, hey, that's two of us.
There you go. That's right. I have never been to Casa Bonita.
To the people.
And we've talked about it on the show several times, and we've never gotten like a really in-depth, breakdown. And so if you don't know about Casa Bonita, you can look it up. It was this I'm sure Erik will talk about it, but basically it was, if you were a South Park fan, you've heard of Casa Bonita. Cartman went to Casa Bonita, and that's where I first heard of it. That's where most people in the world first heard about it. And it's overcome a transformation, and now apparently it's somewhat of a destination. So we're going to talk to Erik about that. I'm curious, super curious to know how Casa Bonita was. And then Erik, where are you right now?
I am
latitude and longitude, please. Exact. I need exact GPS coordinates.
Crap. Hang on. Let me look it up. I'm at the Royal Pacific Lowe's Hotel at Universal right now.
Hey, what room? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess by the time this gets published, no. So you're at Universal. You're going to Disney World soon?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be tomorrow. I move over to the Riviera Hotel at Walt Disney World, yeah. But for tonight, I'm still at Universal.
Nice, man. So we'll talk to you a little bit about that as well. Probably after the break. We got some Disney news. It's going to be a fun show, man. I'm excited about it.
All right, as long as you're excited.
Sure, man. Well, I know you were up late last night finishing this, and then you had to go have fun today.
Well, yeah, it was easy to stay up late because it's like 2 hours different time zone from where I woke up the other day. And time zones are weird.
Yeah, they really are, man.
It's 11 p.m. I'm like, well, I'm wide awake, but I've got to wait a few more hours to do this show.
Yeah, Taryn's like, look, you can go ahead and start without me because, I know it's late where he is. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. And then Erik's in the Discord going, now I have a whole different outlook on Jeremy's struggles whenever he's on the show. Like, yeah,
Jeremy lives in this time zone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But anyway, before we get to that, if you want to follow in Erik's footsteps and you want to travel all the way over to Florida, you can go to Universal or Disney, but whatever you want to do. Disney World. Oh my God, I swore for a second. Hit up Concierge. Go to concierge.com. They will help you plan your Disney vacation. They are Disney planning experts. They can help you do other stuff too. If you want to go to Universal or if you want to do a bunch of other stuff, they can help you with that as well. But Disney parks are where the bread and butter is at. So hit them up, concierge.com. we are actually using them on our. Let me make sure Alice is actually in bed. Yeah, we're gonna be using them on our trip to Disneyland, in like a week and a half. So
man,
yeah, I'm very excited about that. Well, not really very. I'm a little more excited than I was, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, so we're using them. Jimmy's are my concierge, and I'm gonna put him through his paces when we're there. I'm gonna text that boy every hour, asking him, "Hey, why are the line wait times different in the app than they are on the board?" And hey, how many calories? Look up how many calories are in the Matterhorn macaroon, please, for me, and tell me. And he'll do it because he has to.
Go.
Yeah.
And then can you make it calories per dollar?
Yeah. Break it out into that,
please,
and then divide that by ounces. Thank you. He'll have no choice. He will have zero choices to do it, and I will love that for me.
He has to do it.
Yeah.
He took an oath.
He did the concierge oath, man. I love that for him. So anyway, check him out, concierge.com. They'll help you plan your next Disney vacation. They're good people. I'm really excited to use the service. So far, it's been easy. Like I know I don't have to do a single thing leading up to it. I don't have to verify my hotel reservations. I don't have to make sure I got my booking number. I don't have to do any of that. All I had to do was make park reservations. And Jimmy was like, "Look, I can do that for you if you give me your Disney, your My Disney login or whatever." I'm like, "Nah, I'll just do it." It's probably good to get a little bit of practice at it, considering I have a podcast about the whole process, basically. But if I didn't have to, he would just do the whole thing for me. I'm like, "Oh, great, it's perfect, man.
Not bad." Yeah.
I love having people do stuff for me. It's amazing.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So anyway, that's going to be fun, man. And Al still doesn't know. We're trying to figure out when to tell her. But so far, we've just been talking to her
halfway through the day at Disneyland.
Yeah, like, hey, you know where we are? No, we've I think I said before, we've sort of blocked it out as a road trip to LA to see friends for her birthday, to see our friends and like do stuff. Maybe I didn't talk about it. I was like, yeah, we're going to go see some friends. We're going to go see the Natural History Museum there in LA. And we're going to see some dinosaur skeletons. And she's like, oh, yeah, that would be great. So she's pumped. We went and bought walking shoes for our walking trip, quote unquote, around LA. I'm like, we're going to need walking shoes. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, today, she's like, I'm so excited. I can't even help it. I'm already packing crafts and stuff. Like, she's a big craft. Like, dude, this is cute. But yeah, we don't know when to tell her it's like actually going to the park. So I don't know. Stay tuned for that, I guess. The next show.
Looking forward to it. That sounds great.
The next show we're going to be doing, we're scheduled for while we are on vacation, and so we're not going to be here. There's only going to be one show next month, but the show that it's going to be is, I think, on the 20th, and it's going to be just a full recap, a full breakdown. Again, you guys know me. It's not like then we went on this ride and it took 45 minutes. Then we decided to go get a burger, and the burger wasn't too good. It was a little dry, but that's my fault for not getting cheese on it. But I went to go try to,
we were playing Heads Up, and I had to. My clue was jackhammer, and it took me 15 minutes to figure it out.
Yeah, and then people were looking at me. It was just, so I'm not going to be doing that. But I'm very curious to see how the park has changed, how the flow has changed, the whole experience of going to the park. Not only just me, but with my family and with a 7-year-old. Like, that's going to be wild. We've done a couple shows on traveling to Disneyland with a kid Alice's age. We've never done it. That's our own child, right? So it'll be a good time. It'll be a good show, and I'm looking forward to to breaking that down. That'll be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, she's 7.
She's going to be 7. She'll be 7 on the 11th of March, everybody. So mark your calendars.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we'll be back before her actual birthday, but yeah, she'll be 7.
Oh, okay.
But one thing I did, well, it wasn't really for the trip, but I got my first official Disney themed tattoo the other day.
Oh man.
Yeah. it hurt. It's on my thigh. I'll show you in a second. So I have 3 other tattoos, but they're all on my arms. And like that hurts, but it is more like a scraping where like you took like a bunch of hot thorns and like just rubbed them real fast across your skin.
Yeah.
This hurt, like wincing, sweating. I was clammy and sweating. My heart rate was going like crazy. My leg was twitching. I was almost going to tell him I'd stop, please, just no more.
Oh, wow.
It hurt.
Inside thigh or outside thigh?
Top of my leg. Here, I'll show you. Here it is. Ready?
Okay.
You let me know if you know what this is from. I'm sure you do.
Nice.
There it is.
Oh, that's pretty great.
It's pretty good, right? Looks good.
That is an excellent Haunted Mansion tattoo.
It's good,
I like
right?
it a lot.
Yeah. So it's one of the faces from the Hallway of Doors, which I've loved, like, from the portraits, right? I've loved those things forever. Those things are so cool, man, those faces. And so I'm like, it was either this one or the one with the crown on. So this is which, first of all, I didn't know it was a woman until my tattoo artist, Chummy, was like, oh, yeah, what do you want to do? These pearls. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, the pearls of the neck, like it's kind of like ends in a frame. And I'm like, oh, dude, it does. I had no idea. Had zero idea. Like, okay, apparently this is a girl. So that they're a woman, some kind of woman.
There you go.
Yeah. And then, so, but that, if you remember those, like the portraits are sort of like they're ghost pictures, right? For lack of a better term, right? Here, I'm looking for a picture right now. It was like Granny Ghoul, maybe, or something. It's hard to see.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's hard to see. It's a little blown out. But, I mean, you get the point where it's like black and white kind of thing or whatever. And so he put on a little bit of color there, too. So it looks maybe kind of zombie-like, which I think is fine. I mean, because otherwise, if you have a white tattoo, it's going to fade in about a minute.
Yeah, that's a lot of shading. I get it. I've got a tattoo on my calf that had a lot of line work, a lot of shading, and after a while, I'm like, just stop digging at my leg, stop stabbing my leg, please. Because
and he's like the outline, the line part, the outline will be the worst because it's a smaller needle and it's pinchy. And I'm like, pinchy I can handle, but it's not pinchy like on the surface of your skin, like, oh, I'm pinching you, I'm going to get you. It's like deep tissue pinching. Oh, it's not okay. So then you do that. So then you're raw and you're bleeding and you're whatever. And then he does the shading of, the eye around the eye and the chin and, do all the definition, right? Then he goes and does everything else. Then he comes back across it with green. Then he kind of does like an overall yellow. So I had my leg attacked in places 4 times, and I'm just dying, dude. And at the end of it, he goes, "Oh, I put you through a lot, man. You did really good." And I'm laying there. I'm recording a video of myself just absolutely wincing in pain and sending it to Taryn. I'm like, "This is what I'm going through right now." I'll tell you how bad it was. When you guys know me and you know my mask policy, like I'm dead set. I had to pull my mask down because I couldn't breathe.
Wow.
Because I was breathing hard that my mask wasn't clearing, and so the air was still kind of warm and I'm breathing it in. So when you're breathing warm air and you're already sweaty and you're clammy and like your heart rate's elevated, your adrenaline's going, I already thought I kind of got a little woozy, like, whoa, here we go,
It gets so claustrophobic, yeah.
Yeah, and so I had to like lay down. It was on the table, and so I had to pull my mask down a bunch of times because I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna pass out just from the pain and the stress of whatever. But I lost what I was gonna say. Anyway, it hurt. It hurt, man.
The end.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So I'm like laying there in between like attacks on my body. And I made the comparison of getting a tattoo is kind of like having a kid, where it sucks to go through, but once you're done, it looks cool, and then you forget all the pain you went through, and you go, yeah, I'll have another one. That's fine. I'll do that again.
Oh yeah,
I would totally do it. Because already I'm like standing there and he's done. He's like, hey, what do you think? And I'm looking in the mirror. I'm going, well, my knee, right there, my other leg, like driving home, planning on, well, you know what?
What's the next one?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
So, I don't know. And I might make like one leg, like a Disney leg. I don't know. Cause I got some ideas for some cool stuff, but anyway, that's my Disney tattoo story. And I wanted to make sure, I'm like, dude, please tell me that this will be healed and I can wear shorts to my trip. And he's like, yeah, it'll be close, but you should be fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, that's good. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that most women would appreciate comparing a tattoo to a child, but I get I didn't mean
child
premise.
I didn't mean childbirth. I meant raising a child, like couples having a child. Yeah. From the dad's perspective too. And because that's what you always hear about. Like, well, that's why they make them cute. So you forget all the bull crap that you have to go through about, the late nights, the not sleeping, the not feeding, the crying when you can't soothe them, and
there you
all
go.
that stuff you have to go through, all that pain. They're cute at the end of the day, and they make you feel good. And you're like, oh, I want another one.
There
That's
you go.
fine.
That's something.
Yeah. Anyway, it didn't work on me though. All right, Eric, let's talk Casa Bonita, baby. Let's go. What's Eric? Oh,
Casa.
Hold on a second. Hey, what's up, Eric? Are you eating again, brother?
I sure am.
All right, talk to me, man. Where'd you go? As if
All
nobody
right.
knows.
Oh, Casa Bonita. It's not in downtown Disney. It's not in Disney Springs or any of the other Disney places where you could eat things. But you know what? It sure is an interesting place to eat. As you said at the top of the show, many people, if you haven't heard anything about, well, if you have heard anything about Casa Bonita, it's because of a South Park episode from 2003.
Wow, was that long ago?
2003,
God,
yes,
dude.
And that's where I first heard about it, because when my wife and I first came to Colorado for a vacation, so this was a homecoming for her. This was a scouting trip, basically, as I found out later.
Okay.
When we went to Colorado, we met up with her family. We went to Casa Bonita, and she showed me that episode of South Park because I hadn't seen it. And everything in that episode is real, 100% real.
Really? So we remind everybody it has there was cliff divers, and then I forget some of the other things. Look it up on YouTube if you haven't seen it. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, basically the thrust of the episode is Kyle wants to have his birthday party at Casa Bonita, which is, I mean, that's a totally real thing that Trey Parker was super into when he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's like the Chuck E. Cheese of Mexican restaurants, but with real people instead of animatronics. Right. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there aren't animatronics there, but yeah. So the episode is funny because Cartman wasn't invited, but then he manages to get himself invited by tricking Butters into thinking that the world is coming to an end. So Butters doesn't go, and Cartman takes his place.
Right.
And at the end, the reason that you hear so many things about what's going on at Casa Bonita is because when the authorities come to arrest Cartman, he's running through Casa Bonita saying, Black Bart's Cave. He's trying to do all of the things.
Those are all real
rapid
things.
fire.
Yeah.
Right. To get it all done. And those are all real things.
I love that.
It's crazy, this place. And it's been crazy for so long. This particular location opened up in 1974.
Jeez, dude.
There are other locations that opened up earlier in Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas.
Oh, wow.
As early as 1968.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was a chain. That's cool.
Yeah, it was a chain created by a man named Bill Waugh. This is the crown jewel of that chain, and it's the only one that still exists.
Nice.
All of the others closed at some point. This location is 52,000 square feet.
Ooh, that's big.
It's huge.
Yeah.
At one point, it was the largest restaurant in the world.
No way.
Wow.
Really?
In the world. Yeah.
It was a
largest Mexican restaurant in the world.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you know what? That's less impressive, but still very impressive.
Yeah, it's enormous. I mean, it was basically built in the ruins of a department store. So Joslin's department store was a department store chain in the Denver area that had been around since the 1800s. This particular building was built in 1957. So the restaurant came to be in 1974. So it's already an older building, but they turned an entire department store into a restaurant.
That's so cool. I think that's really neat. I wonder how much that renovation cost. You know what I mean? Like you enhance floor or whatever. We're going to just make that a kitchen.
Right. Oh gosh. But yeah, speaking of kitchens, when the building was initially when the restaurant initially opened, and for many years that kitchen wasn't a very good kitchen.
Okay.
Pretty much everything was steamed.
No. Oh God.
What?
Somehow that sounds very 70s though. 60s maybe.
Oh yeah.
Very bland.
Yeah.
All of the food was steamed for many decades.
Oh, like how? Like, I don't even know what steamed Mexican food.
Yeah,
steamed Mexican
make
food.
this make sense.
Yeah, dude, I can't.
And it had a reputation for being of poor quality.
Okay,
even when I first went. Yeah, the first time that I went, it wasn't great, but then it got progressively worse over the years.
Oh,
it was something where, to get into the building, you had to order food.
Okay.
Like the line to get into the building took you past the food area where you had to order something, and you took your tray of food to your table, and the drinks were okay, but like the whole point of getting in necessitated ordering this terrible food that you might not eat.
Okay, so you had to go through. It's like a food court, like maybe like Rancho, where you go up and you order your food, and then you take it and you go find some place to eat, and then you can kind of explore afterwards.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And that's part of it is the exploration after you eat or don't eat.
Yeah.
Because your server would bring you drinks. Your server would bring you sopapillas.
Okay.
For those who don't know what a sopapilla is, consider a beignet, but instead of powdered sugar, granulated sugar and honey.
Okay.
So it's just a chunk of fried dough, a square of fried dough, and that was one of those things that was kind of like universally accepted. Oh yeah, the sopapillas are amazing. It's just dessert, but you could have unlimited sopapillas. You had a little flag that you would raise on your table.
God, dude, that's crazy.
And they just bring you more.
I guess it's hard. I mean, there's some food that you just can't screw up. And it sounds like fried dough with honey is just sort of like universally known. You know, it's like I said, very Middle Eastern, very Greek, you know.
Right.
So I'm sure every culture has a fried dough with honey dish somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And even if you look up sopapillas, like there's so many different South American and Central American versions of, like, every region has this fried dough that they call sopapillas.
Nice.
And here they're perfect little pillows of delightful sugar and flour. It continued this way until the pandemic started, and the restaurant closed down. The company that owned it at the time, it essentially went bankrupt. And the future of the restaurant was in question. Enter Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who have just piles of cash from their South Park.
You got to put it somewhere.
Syndication.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. And Trey Parker looked at this as a personal project. And if you want to hear more of like the story of how this place got turned around, there's an excellent documentary called Casa Bonita, Mi Amor on Max. It's excellent. It's very touching, and you can kind of see that Trey's the one who's like, I've got to do this, and Matt's like, okay, I guess I can also do this.
I feel like that's their relationship anyway, though.
Oh yeah. It's interesting. These two guys that have been like doing stuff together for so long, and now they've got just cash. They took this building that had this reputation. It's this massive restaurant, and it has this reputation for food that might not be good, and for entertainment that is probably good. And they took it on as a giant project.
Yeah, because they wanted to turn it around, because they had they actually really loved it. It was a very nostalgic thing for them because they grew up in Colorado. And
right. Yeah, exactly. And that was the main idea. They just wanted to resurrect this thing. I mean, in 2015, the building was named a state landmark. So
all right.
If you look at pictures of it, the like exterior, sure, it's part of a giant strip mall.
Okay.
It's a box. It's a department store. But in front, Bill Waugh constructed this pink tower in the front.
Okay.
And that's part of that. That's part of what makes it so striking. It's along Colfax Avenue, in the middle of like nowhere. It's not a good neighborhood. No. It's not a bad neighborhood, but it's just it's there. And on top of the building is a statue of the last Aztec emperor.
All right.
It's crazy. It's absolutely a crazy thing to have in the middle of Lakewood. Technically, it's Lakewood, Colorado.
Okay. Yeah, it does seem like this person was just trying to throw culture points together to have a restaurant about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, what does the Aztec emperor have to do with sopapillas? Right.
And as it turns out, he created something that is so enduring and so beloved by the people of Colorado that they made it a historical landmark. And when they went bankrupt, Trey and Matt bought the place for $3 million.
Okay. That's a chunk of change, man. But also, I don't know. I feel like that's a heavier cultural responsibility, I think, you want
to talk about heavy.
Yeah.
They put in $40 million to renovate the building.
40 to renovate $1 million.
Dude.
Oh, those guys.
You gotta watch the documentary to get the full details, but basically They had to gut the entire place. I mean, this is a building that, like you mentioned, there are cliff divers. There's water. There are waterfalls. There are water features in this place. Yeah.
So there's water damage.
Half the building is rotting because of water.
Okay. All right.
The ventilation system was practically destroyed by pigeon crap.
So I imagine it smelled very musty in there.
Oh, it was super musty.
That's gross, dude.
So the cliff divers diving off of a fake waterfall into a pool.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways they could leave the pool was a like underwater cavern where they would swim. They'd swim through a tunnel and emerge into a room that basically had exposed electrical elements.
Yes. Awesome. I love this.
So they could have died. There's so much of this place that I mean, yes, it was massive and there's so many different rooms and each room has a different theme and it looks like a Mexican village on the inside of the building, but it was all crumbling.
Wow.
This place was falling apart. And to their credit, Parker and Stone realized they're never going to make their money back on this.
They knew it was a losing proposition, but they did it anyway. Damn.
Yeah, they did it anyway, it was worth it to them to preserve this place. Like it's gorgeous now.
Yeah. Okay. So they renovated it and reopened, and you went recently. The first time, was this your first time going?
No, I've been several times.
Okay. So they've turned it into a destination, not a chore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And what was interesting during the like soft open for like a year, if you were on their mailing list, you could get offered a spot to come in. And so for the first year, you basically had to wait. I think I waited about like 9 months before I got an offer.
Wow.
To come in and make reservations. That was the early phase. Now that it's open, they put out reservations about a month or two in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to log in and get your reservations. If it's like it's got kind of calmed down since then, but
sure.
Since it initially opened, like if it's a weeknight, you could probably get a reservation anytime. But if you want to get a weekend, you've got to get a reservation months in advance. It's still a highly sought after destination, and that's what they've made it.
Good for them. Man.
Yeah, and it's packed every night. They've changed the kind of the dynamic of the serving culture there. All of their servers are paid, I think, over $30 an hour. Like they're not paid minimum wage like most servers. There's no tipping. Nice. The intent is to pay people a good living wage, and and create a completely new culture in the area as far as a restaurant is concerned.
That's cool. I like that. All right, well that's good. So when you went, what did you get? What are you eating on when you go to Casa Bonita?
Let's see. So I have had, we've been there a couple times. I think the last time I went, I had, I'm generally a chili relleno guy. So that's the first meal that I had there.
You're the one that eats chili rellenos. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. That's me. Yeah. It's not a huge menu. Cheese and chicken enchiladas, burrito, taco salad, nachos, tacos.
Sounds like a food truck.
Yeah, I mean it's general Mexican food, but they don't really put a ton of stuff out there.
Yeah.
For kids, they've got chicken tenders and burgers if you want.
Well, yeah, with a menu like that, you're never going to make your 40 million back. You know? Got to spice it up a little bit. How's the renovation as far as like what they've done to the place? Is it I imagine it looks a lot better.
It looks better, and ultimately it's very similar to the way it was before.
I think it has to be.
They didn't change a whole lot. Like they recreated the waterfall, so there are still cliff divers.
Mm-hmm.
So every 15 minutes, there's a cliff diving presentation, and this is a multi-story building. So, like if you're eating near the cliff divers, you're upstairs.
Okay.
So you can watch them. It's like people that they do a little bit of a show, and they kind of like show off a little bit and do these fun dives down. They'll climb back up the cliff and then dive again.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. They don't do a huge show like they used to have, like a Western show that they would do around there, and they'd
Yeah, right.
knock a cowboy off the cliff into the water and that sort of thing.
Fun.
But yeah,
it's
right
sort
now
of like primed for a stunt show, I feel like.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, these days they just do the cliff diving, and it's fun. They just do this whole thing, and they climb back up and they dive off again, and there you go.
That's cool.
You can also go downstairs where the base of the waterfall is, and you can watch them dive in from there. That whole area is pretty much the way it was before. They just recreated it without the live wires.
Yeah, it's,
Jeez.
I guess you got to be safe. That's
I
fine.
guess, yeah. Man Bear Pig wanders around.
No way. Really?
Yes.
Like in a
Yes.
suit and whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Because they used to have a gorilla that would wander around and was sometimes part of the shows.
Made a man bear
Because
pig.
Hell yeah.
why not? But they replaced him with Man Bear Pig,
I love that. That's so good.
which
dude.
is great. I high-fived Man Bear Pig the last time we were there.
nice. Do they have cool merch?
They've got amazing merch.
No
Yes.
way. That's cool, dude.
Yeah. Brandy and I got Christmas sweaters
Oh, really?
this year for Christmas.
All right. Well, whoever goes next, let me know, and I'm going to go on their website and look at their merch, and you're going to buy me something.
All right. But yeah, they've
I'll
got
give you money for it,
candles.
of
They've
course.
got. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of shirts and stuff. Like they're big on the merch right now. They've got like hot saucy you can buy and candles and stuff.
Candles?
It's pretty great.
The hell do the
Hot
candles
sauce and
smell
candles.
like? Yeah.
Was not what I was expecting you
sopapillas.
to say.
What the candles smell like? Sopapillas?
They've got a cinnamon sopapilla candle, and they've got a Mexican chocolate candle.
Well, see that now you're talking. This sounds like an aisle at a Home Goods. It's like they have pickled popcorn and tumor extractors in the same area. Let's go.
There you go.
That's weird, man.
But yeah, so let's run down the entertainment there. So the cliff divers, it's a 30-foot leap into the water.
Okay.
There are strolling mariachi bands. There's also a mariachi stage that you can catch people at. There's a puppet theater. The puppet show is
It's just Team America, World Police.
it's reminiscent. I mean,
Okay.
every voice in the place is Trey.
Oh man.
So you hear things like, "Are you ready for the puppet show? You should be.
I love that.
Head down to the puppet theater and see our next show." But yeah, the puppet show is led by a taco.
Of course.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
There is a burrito that comes down on a swing, very reminiscent of Country Bear Jamboree.
No way. That's so cool, dude.
It's totally Country Bear.
Wow.
One of the characters is a plate of the old food, which just looks like slop.
Oh, I do have your pictures for this show. I just checked my
Okay.
email and I got them finally.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I did send them.
See,
properly.
it's very South Park. Like, one of the characters is the thing the way it used to be.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's amazing. The puppet show is great. You're not allowed to record it. I'm sure there are
Really?
people that have.
That's too bad. Yeah, but those new Meta glasses, you never know.
Oh,
now.
jeez.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, the old food is very sad. But it's a fun show.
So I'm looking at the pictures. It is very. It looks a lot like the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's lit really well. It's almost like a tiki bar. Mexican Pavilion, just like in the way that it's lit, like those kind of colors, like those almost neon purples and greens and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's a Mexican village at night, indoors, but outdoors. That type of setup. And each room is different. It's super great.
I'm looking at this now, and I guess it looks like maybe the merch. I don't know what it is, but there's a bunch of tile. It looks kind of weird, and then you just have that acoustic tiling and for the ceiling. It's so chaotic.
Oh yeah. I mean, still the ceiling is going to be, but they've got fiber optics in the ceiling, so it looks like stars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I saw that. Okay, I'm getting the vibe.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, I would go.
Yeah,
to this
it's very much the Epcot Mexico Pavilion.
Nice, dude.
If you're familiar with that, but yeah, they've got caricature artists, face painters.
Really?
They've got a full arcade.
Oh man,
with skee ball and a shooting gallery.
How long?
They have a root beer bar.
What?
A root beer bar. So, like, next to the shooting gallery, there's a saloon, and it's a root beer bar. And they've got multiple flavors of root beer.
That's cool.
How long does somebody stay there for dinner?
So it's
not long enough or too long.
Oh, you can spend hours there, and we have if you go there for a meal, they're turning you over quickly. They want you out of your table the moment you're done eating. But most people will stay there for a couple hours after their meal.
Wow. Just to poke
wandering
around.
Yeah, wandering around, looking at stuff, going to the arcade, visiting. There's a special table that was Cartman's table from the episode of South Park.
No way. That's so cool.
There's a statue of Cartman.
Nice.
At a table.
Oh god.
Like a little photo op. Like I said, you can meet Man Bear Pig. There's a magic show, Sorcero the Magician, which is it's great. There's this little theater, and Sorcero does this show that's set to 70s music. There's no talking. It's just this person who dances around in a bodysuit and has a mask on, and they do fun magic tricks. It's
cool.
That's awesome, man.
It's great. You can get your Old West sepia toned pictures at the jail.
Perfect, of course.
And then so they still have sopapillas. You can still raise your flag for unlimited fried dough. And then there's Black Bart's Cave, which is another thing that's referenced in the South Park episode, where it's basically a walk through haunted cave.
Ooh. Okay.
So they've got, ghost effects and sound effects, and when you get to the center, it's a pirate's treasure trove, which includes an Evel Knievel lunchbox.
All right. Well, it sounds fun, Eric.
In the evenings, the last time we went, it was pretty late, and there were it was kind of a hipster crowd, which is still fun. There's a bunch of adults going to see a kid's magic show, but it's great. We went with one of our friends who brought their kids, and our young Master Lucas said, "You guys, you got to come see the magic show. You get candy at the end of the show." So it's kids are into it, adults are into it. It's such a great thing to be there now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's super fun. It's still a giant restaurant. There are so many different rooms to wander around and see. They've got live music everywhere.
Sounds like
highly recommended if you're in the Denver area.
Yeah,
Cool.
There you go. If you're missing a little bit of Disney magic, you can get some South Park magic.
There you go.
And that's,
It's almost the same.
That's what Eric is eating today, everybody. I love it. It sounds fun. I would definitely want to go. Look, I would have gone when it was crappy, and I wish the few times I've been to Denver, I wish I knew about this place beforehand. I didn't. All right, everybody, we are going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. I want to hear what Erik is doing in Universal. I want to hear how Universal's doing. I haven't been there in a bit, and then we'll do some Disney news, and we'll get out of here. So hang on, everyone. It's Ears Up. We'll be right back.
Faraday presenta Ojos con Alergia y Picazón contra el Jardinero. Y el ganador es Faraday Extra Fuerte. Para aliviar la picazón de los ojos por alergia, actúa más rápido y supera a Claritin y Flonase aún a las 24 horas. Faraday, adelante.
You found your person. Now let the Knot help you with everything else. The Knot connects you to the wedding inspo, vendors, venues, and planning tools you need to make your day totally you. Having helped plan 25 million weddings, we've got your back when it comes to every little detail like RSVPs, budgets, and more. Because your wedding comes to life with the connections that matter the most. Get started at theknot.com/audio. The Knot. Let's plan your wedding together.
Back to Ears Up, where the opinions never stop.
Ever. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging on. We are back. We're still talking to Erik, everybody. We've managed to wrangle him, let him stay over. It's now midnight. We're holding him over to the next day. But he's going to tell us about his trip to Universal. Because I'm curious. We haven't been to Universal in a long time. And as everybody knows, we're going to go to Disneyland in a couple weeks. So I'm curious to see, as somebody who travels the parks a lot, Erik, how is it going to Universal? What does Universal have that Disney doesn't have? And how can we get that magic? Something.
You know, it's interesting. So staying at a hotel near Universal, one of the Lowe's hotels.
Yeah.
I'm at the Royal Pacific Lowe's. It's got kind of a Disneyland flavor.
The hotel?
No, well, just the resort, because you can, it's so walkable. I can walk to both Universal parks. I could take a boat to the Universal parks as well.
There we go. Okay.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's all so close. Like it's so different from Walt Disney World, where nothing is close to anything.
Yeah, right. Right. So it's a little more accessible. Easily accessible,
yeah, I guess. It's super accessible. Like a short walk and I'm at like CityWalk, which is their Disney Springs, downtown Disney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like there's just a whole bunch of food. There's, there are bars, there are places to go. And during the day, like it's just, you go through CityWalk and you're at the parks.
Yeah, I remember thinking that CityWalk was a little better laid out than Disney Springs. Like the walkways were a little wider, but it didn't seem like it was too spacious. It was just kind of like the right amount of space in between, between the places to go and whatever. You know what I mean? Like it didn't seem too congested. Disney Springs to me, when we went, this is 2015 or whatever. It seemed really congested. And you had to like walk, you go straight and you go 90 degrees and you go to 45. Then because you have to go like around these planters to then continue on. It's like, what am I doing? What is this?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it kind of is. I mean, the main thoroughfare is designed for, you leave the parking garage, you walk into the parks, you leave the parks, you walk back to the parking garage. You don't have to like really spend any time in CityWalk.
Yeah.
It's still just a place you pass through to get to buses or your car or whatever. But this is the first time I've ever really like spent time in CityWalk, walking around. Like there's an upper level that I kind of saw before, but I never really explored. And like, oh wow, there are cool places around here. As far as like transport is concerned, big walkways, it's designed to just like get you in and out.
Yeah.
But if you want to spend time here, Universal at this time of year closes at like 7 or 8 o'clock.
Oh, wow. Early.
Really?
Like the parks so early. Yeah. One of the parks closes at 7. The other park closes at 8 and it like alternates.
Jeez.
And it's so weird. I'm like, well, what do I do now? But
Yeah.
like CityWalk is right there.
Okay. It seems weird that Universal Studios would close that early.
Yeah, and I mean, this time of year, it seems like so I was talking with the bartender at the hotel bar here, which is a great little sushi place. And he was like, yeah, well, this time of year, a lot of like companies will rent out the park in the evenings or.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
I think we should do that. We'll do that as EarzUp.
There you go. Yeah. Get the EarzUp jet. Take it out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like high school groups. Like it'll be, like yesterday there was some sort of like performing arts group that was a bunch of high schools doing something, and you could tell they had Islands of Adventure locked down for the evening, so they kicked everybody out at like 7. And you could tell because it was like crazy busy with teens everywhere. I'm like, okay, I got to get out of here. I can't even get into the Harry Potter area.
Classically teen free.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, and CityWalk kind of leans into this sort of thing. Like right now it's Mardi Gras season here, and they've got that going through March. But I stumbled into a speakeasy last night.
How fun.
How? Did you go through like the janitor's closet and then you're like, hey, wait a minute. This bottle of bleach is a lever. It opened a door. I had to flush myself down this toilet.
I'm like exploring CityWalk last night, and I went to the bar that is it's modeled after a bar that is in New Orleans.
Okay.
So like it's Mardi Gras time, and this is like a dueling piano bar. I'm like, oh, let's go see the dueling piano bar. And I couldn't get into the dueling piano portion because all the tables were full.
Sure.
So I went over there was a spot open at the bar, which is on the other side of the building. And I went up and I said, can I get a Sazerac? And they said, well, we don't make a Sazerac here, but they do upstairs.
Oh.
Okay, kind of like, whispered to you.
Right. And I said, what's upstairs? The restrooms are upstairs. Like, they make a Sazerac in the restroom? And the bartender's like, here. And she gives me this wristband, and she's like, wait, you know about this, right? And I said, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. And she's like, oh, there's a speakeasy upstairs. Here's the password.
And the password was Sazerac, and you just stumbled into it. No,
well, the password is Storms Brewing. Okay. And and she's like, just go upstairs, walk past the restrooms, and there'll be somebody there. Give her the password, and she'll let you into the speakeasy.
I like how she gave you the wristband before asking if you knew what it was about. She's like, yeah, you know about this, right? Here you go.
What the hell? And it was amazing. When I got in there were 6 people in this room.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
That's the best.
And there's a woman in like flapper garb who's playing the piano, and there's just this little bar that's like fully stocked, and they made me a Sazerac, and I could get like truffle popcorn, and I could get Spanish almonds and olives, and
God, how fun.
And I was talking to the bartenders there. I'm like, what the heck is this? And they're like, oh, this is just something that we put together for Mardi Gras. This is the first time we've done it. It's been open for like 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And
cool.
like, is it always this like selective? And he's like, well, yeah, like we're on the weekends, it does tend to get a little more busy in here. Like there still weren't very many tables. By the time I left, I think there were like 15 people in the room.
Jeez.
And he's like, yeah, our director stopped by to talk to the management of the bar, and they're like, "We really like this. You need to do this all the time." So this is something that they're gonna like kind of blow up more. But it was super fun, like just stumbling into this thing. Like I had no idea that this was going on.
Well, and it's
it's
pretty interesting because, you know, when you're in that area, if you're in like a CityWalk or in some sort of theme park, you don't really expect to be surprised with something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know, because it's controlled and it's, you know, everything as you would imagine is thought up and corporate and tested and, you know, themed to whatever. And you know what I mean? There's a sanitary layer over it. You're like, okay, this is definitely dreamed up in a boardroom somewhere, but it sounds like you just found some organic, you know, event and people were just trying different stuff. And you don't really see that in spaces like that anymore at all.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so shocking to be in this place and go, like you said, you don't expect something surprising to happen there.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking forward to a dueling piano bar, which is
that's all you wanted.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's interesting in its own right. But then I had this relaxing experience where I'm just sitting on like a couch watching a woman play the piano.
That's actually really
like
cool.
Playing classic show tunes and like it was this like. They'd open the doors, like the balcony, because it like this place kind of looks like Bourbon Street, where you've got like the upper level and you've got the balcony with little tables. And whenever they'd open up the door to the outside upstairs, you'd hear like doom, 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 doom.
Just the bass from whatever's going on. Yeah,
right. The music that's playing upstairs at CityWalk, but like they'd close the door and it's just like this woman playing Would You from Singing in the Rain. And like, this is amazing.
That's cool, man.
But yeah, in general, Universal is great. They've got, I mean, obviously they have. We'll talk about it on the. I'll shoehorn in a few episodes on this someday, but
okay,
like the Harry Potter stuff is fantastic.
Oh yeah, you can't beat it.
Amazing.
Yeah, and they've got Diagon Alley, which isn't in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
It's even better than the original like Hogsmeade area that's at both parks.
Agreed.
They still have things like E.T., the E.T. adventure here. Which I wrote on today, and I haven't been on it since I was a kid. Like, oh, this is so great! It's just this nostalgic dark ride,
man.
And then they've got the VelociCoaster, which is a roller coaster that I like so much that I have literally dreamt about it.
Really? Wow,
that's so cool, man.
I have had dreams about this roller coaster ever since I went on it 6 months ago. And
you and
I've
have
been
different
on it
dreams.
Twice.
Yeah. We have different dreams. I had a dream last night where I saw a bunch of rats in a movie and I rewound it and called in Taryn to show her. That was a dream.
Your dream?
That was a dream I had last night. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, Taryn, look at these rats.
Yeah, basically. That's exactly what it was.
That's just like what happens in real life, though.
Yeah. Dreams come true, man. What can I say?
Well, for Erik, too, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. It's a real thing. This roller coaster, we got to do, like, I want to do a whole thing on the roller coaster. Like, there's a portion where you've got they call it the top hat.
Okay.
So the roller coaster has a whole bunch of inversions and like normal roller coaster stuff, but the top hat is like one of these newer things in roller coasters. And you kind of go way up. You can see the entire park, and you drop 140 feet at an 80-degree angle.
That's like that's going in.
Almost.
No.
It feels like it. It's not quite that bad, but it's incredible. This ride does things to your body where you're like, I don't know what just happened, but I love it.
Oh, man.
There's a barrel roll over water.
Oh, man.
You feel like you're going to get your head dunked in the lake.
Sounds fun to me, man. Let's do it. I'm interested to see how Alice reacts to roller coasters. I'm going to try to get her on a roller coaster when we're at the park, and Disneyland has such little roller coasters.
Well, and Cars Ride will be a good first one.
I don't think she'll do it. Yeah, I don't think she'll get on Cars Ride.
Oh, I absolutely do think she will.
Oh, really?
All right. I mean, first of all, I don't want to wait 12 hours to get on that ride, though.
Get ready to wait. We're going to be waiting for everything.
Big Thunder is a good early roller coaster, I think.
I think it's going to be shut down, though, while we're there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's down? Oh.
Yeah. It's down
that's
for a while.
Well, Eric, sounds fun, man. Sounds like Universal's still kicking. I like that for them.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm staying 2 nights here at this hotel. This is night 2. I spent all day at the parks today. It's fun. That's kind of enough.
Sure.
Like I have a ticket for tomorrow. I'm probably going to pop in the morning, but then we're going to do like the concierge crew are here.
Oh, nice.
This is a concierge trip. So we're going to do some hotel tours and stuff, but I'll still hit the parks for a little bit.
Cool.
Brian's in town.
Oh.
He says he's in the same time zone as me.
You're going to meet up with Brian?
I'm going to meet up with Brian. I haven't met Brian before.
Nice,
in person. It's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah. Give him a kiss on the forehead for me, please.
Oh, I'll do that. Yeah. Get ready, Brian.
Get ready, Brian. All right. Well, that's great, Eric. Good job. Thank you. That was it, right? Just stepped
sure.
on your. Okay, great.
March in the past, present, and future with all the news that's fit to cover. It's the Ears Up Disney News.
No, Brian, you don't have a say in that at all. Well, yes. I mean, I guess you should. Yeah, consensual kiss on the forehead, please.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah,
that is important.
That is important. I do have a lot of news, but I don't know if I want to go through it all because it just, I don't know. It's already late. It's kind of weird. Real fast, there's a Marc Jacobs and Disney cross, mashup or whatever.
Oh, they do this sometimes.
It looks cute. It's good. So check it out. That's all I got to say.
Is it just Disney or is it like certain characters?
It's like, Mickey Mouse and there's comics and stuff. It's funky. It's cute. It's, high fashion, man. What are you going to do?
I love both of those things.
Swimsuits, t-shirts, shorts, and more in a contemporary Mickey Mouse print.
Interesting.
So there you go. I guess it's focusing on Mickey Mouse only.
Yeah, because they did Alice in Wonderland before. That's the wallet I have. But it did break. And
that broke.
Unfixable. Yeah. It's very sad.
Yeah. Okay, this I thought was an interesting story. After nearly 60 years of being a Disneyland staple, the iconic It's a Small World ride is getting a new set of lyrics for a new generation of park visitors. And this is from Variety. And Variety doesn't, they capitalize the I in it, and it's not. It's literally lowercase, but that's okay.
Yeah, that bugs me.
Disney Parks announced on its blog today that the updated lyrics will premiere at Disneyland in time for the park's 70th anniversary. The verse was written by late composer Richard M. Sherman before he died last May at age 95. The new lyrics were first unveiled in the short film The Last Verse last November, with the verse reading, "Mother Earth unites us in heart and mind, and the love we give makes us humankind. Through our vast, wondrous land, when we stand hand in hand, it's a small world after all." He could have done better. I'm just going to say that right now.
It's fine.
As part of Disneyland's anniversary, the short film The Last Verse will play daily at the Main Street Cinema Theater. The park will also unveil a Walt Disney audio animatronic figure before it becomes a part of the Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln show rotation. Sherman and his brother wrote the original It's a Small World song in 1964. Anyway. So there you go. At some point, there's going to be new lyrics at the end of It's a Small World. And at first I read that and I was like, why are they doing this? This is, I don't know. It was weird. And then you read the story. It's like, okay, well, he wrote it and it's like, he wanted to do it. So
it's kind of sweet.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm neutral about it. I don't really care.
Well, that song, like, if you've ever gotten stuck on that ride for any amount of time, that song is terrible. It's not terrible in short stints. But like if you get blocked up by the boats and you're waiting, like it goes on and on. So you know what? Adding another lyric, that's fine with me. At least it gives you something more to
There you go.
think about.
Yeah. Yes, it gives you something more to think about.
Yeah.
Which is all you can
Do
really
you
say.
really listen to the words?
What? Yeah. I mean, because they
Other than it's a small world after
they
all.
like get stuck in your brain.
It kind of does, man.
I could tell you every word to that song, but I'm not going to.
Well, no, I'm going to sing it instead. Na, 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 na. Okay, this is interesting. This headline reads, Disney infuriates customers even more with controversial new surge pricing strategy. Have you heard about this, Eric? Do you know about this?
I don't.
I thought this was what they were already doing.
I know, right? Disney theme park ticket prices in the U.S. will jump as demand arises under controversial new dynamic pricing plan. The move, which experts say will be rolled out in the next few months, mirrors airline pricing, where fares increase as more tickets sell. Currently, entry to Walt Disney World in Orlando and Disneyland near L.A. is priced based on preset peak and off-peak dates. Under the expected plan, already rolled out at Disneyland Paris, ticket prices at the U.S. parks will fluctuate in real time based on demand.
Okay, so that's a change up.
That's a bit
it's not
different.
just like we expect more people on a Saturday, so it costs more.
But what's confusing about this is it doesn't seem to go hand in hand with the reservation process, because in order to get tickets, you also have to get reservations. So like you have to plan ahead. So it just, there's something about it that feels off. That feels like that would have made more sense before reservations.
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying, because you have to pre-buy your tickets to get a reservation to even get into the park. So it's not like you're going to the park and then buying a ticket at the kiosk. So what is this?
What's the point of the real time thing? What's the point of it?
I don't know.
Unless they're really still trying to get local people out of the parks. But I don't really think they're trying to do that anymore.
Yeah, that seems Ryan is saying in the chat that Disney World doesn't have reservations anymore. So it's just Disneyland.
Yeah, I mean, well, Disney World doesn't have reservations for regular tickets. If you're an AP, you still have to reserve.
Got it. Okay. Let's see. Could be rolled out. This could be introduced by the end of March, says some researcher. I don't know. Disney fan Jasmine Guevara, who lives in LA and regularly visits Disneyland and nearby Anaheim, says, "Does Disney have no shame?
No.
It has jacked up prices time and again in the past few years. This will just be another way to squeeze even more money out of me and my family." Well, guess what, Jasmine? You don't have to go. You don't have to pay there. Knott's Berry Farm is right there. You can do literally anything else in the world. Like you don't have to go. Greenfield, let's see, whatever.
Knott's is pretty great. I like Knott's.
I want to go. We'll be going in there. I don't know if we'll have time.
Have you never been to Knott's?
I mean, once when I was like a little guy. That's about it, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this is an interesting one. Elizabeth Warren asks Department of Justice to investigate Disney deal to buy Fubo, which is like a football streaming service.
Yeah.
And first of all, she needs to keep her nose at it. Like, stop it. Just don't you have anything better to do? I mean, maybe she doesn't. I don't know. Go trade stocks or something. Elizabeth Warren is asking the Department of Justice to investigate and potentially block Disney's surprise deal to buy the streaming service Fubo, arguing that it raises notable antitrust concerns. The Democrat senator wrote a letter on February 19th to the acting assistant attorney general, asking the agency to look into the January 6th deal that, if it closes, would have Disney merge its Hulu Plus live TV business with rival Fubo to create a new holding company of which Disney would own 70%. The merger ended Fubo's legal fight against Disney, Fox Corp, and Warner Brothers Discovery over the company's now scrapped plans to create a Fubo rival titled Venue. that would have been a streaming home for major league sports, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Warner's letter argues that Disney looked to buy Fubo after facing legal roadblocks to creating its own joint venture sports service. Quote, it's notable that as recently as the beginning of January, Disney and Fubo were litigation adversaries, with Fubo citing a characterization of Disney as, quote, the final boss you must defeat after beating out all other media companies. Warren wrote, by acquiring Fubo, Disney's dominance would be even stronger.
I mean, she's not wrong. And that does sound very shady. And it sounds like very businessy, transaction-y. But also I agree with you that there are bigger fish to fry right now.
Yeah.
Miss Warren.
Yeah.
She's great, but let's spend time somewhere else, please.
The DOJ has kind of a lot on their plate. No, actually, no, they don't, because they're being gutted. But
yeah, exactly.
Great. Warren views the deal as an attempt by Disney to effectively corner the streaming sports marketplace. Quote, this proposed acquisition raises significant concerns under antitrust law, would give Disney increased market power and incentives to increase cost for viewers. I urge DOJ not to be fooled by Disney's attempt to purchase its way around antitrust law. I mean, you know what? She is right, I suppose. They're just going to be doing what they did with Hulu and Fox and everything anyway. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
They found another way to get what they wanted, it sounds like. And it's just not, It's not the best way to do it, but they found a loophole, let's call it.
Well, yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I think it'd be weird. I could see this administration blocking Disney just because.
Well, Disney's billionaires. Why would they block them? I mean,
because they're liberal, woke mind virus people.
When they need to be.
Yeah.
Not always.
Not always, but this is relevant for our trip. Then we'll go. We'll let Erik go to sleep. But, since considering this is not really a Disney show right now, we're not really focused on Disney things. Here are 14 places in LA that every Disney lover must visit at least once. So it's nothing to do with the parks necessarily. I don't know. We'll get all 14 because, whatever. Okay. There's Walt's Barn. We all know that at Carolwood.com. You can go to the website and check that out. That's where Disney's trains are. Walk in Walt's footsteps at the original Disney Brothers studio location, which is 4651 Kingswell Avenue in Los Angeles. That could be, interesting to go drive by. These pastries at the original Martino's Bakery were once a Disney studio staple.
Is it a chili-based, chili and Scotch-based
chili
pastry?
And Scotch, with nice Scotch icing. Apparently Burbank has this baker called the original Martino's Bakery, which dates back to 1926. And that's at 335 North Victory Boulevard in Burbank. Maybe we should go visit that. Go to martinosbakery.com and you can check more about the thing right there. You can visit the real tree that inspired the lush Adventureland treehouse. This is interesting. It's on 400 Northwest Street in Anaheim. It's a real Morton Bay fig tree located about 2 miles from Disneyland.
Okay.
And there's a picture of it. It looks, basically I buy it,
Big old tree. Okay.
Yeah. Dine at Tam O'Shanter, one of Walt's favorite restaurants. That's in Los Feliz Boulevard in Los Angeles.
I'd love to go there.
Yeah, I know, right? I really want, this is stupid because I know we're not going to, but I really want to go to, oh God, what's that steak place that Bosch eats at all the time?
Oh, I forget what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Musso and Frank's. Musso and Frank.
Yeah. Okay.
God, I pulled that one out. Man, the synapses are going, baby. Let's go. Let's see. That one's done. Revel in the Disneyland creation myth at the Griffith Park merry-go-round. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. That hellscape where Walt wanted to, said, I need a place where I can actually enjoy spending time with my family.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Ooh, marvel at a hidden mural by influential Disney artist Mary Blair at 100 Stein Plaza in Los Angeles. Apparently it's a UCLA Health. I'm clicking the read all to like read about what they're talking about, and it's like not working. So anyway, that was it. Just some stuff to go check out.
That's cool. Actually, a few of those I was trying to like in real time, just like Disney, look these up, and a lot of them are very close to where we're staying.
Hell yeah. Sounds good to me. All right, let's get out of here, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this What is Erik's Eating's special.
Oh, yes.
Very special reporting from Erik from live from Orlando, Florida.
Hey, I've got things to say about different shows.
Yes, please do. Tell me what's going on. Let me turn this down. Tell me what's going on. Erik, why don't you go ahead and tell us what's going on, please.
Nice. Buena Vista Boys, have you done anything since the Tiger Walks?
No, Tiger Walks was our very last. Wait.
Yeah, that was
the end of season
Was that our
one?
last episode? Was that our season finale?
I think so. You did the Christmas one and then that.
Okay, yeah. So Tiger Walks was our very last one, but Matt and I have been planning. We have our list of 10 films that we're going to be watching for season 2. There will definitely be a season 2.
Okay, excellent. Well, looking forward to that. Scraping the Vault is going to someday soon come out with Hot Frosty.
Okay.
Their review of the classic Netflix film Hot Frosty.
Can't wait for that.
I don't know a whole lot about that, but we'll see how it goes. The Supreme Resort, we just put out part 2 of Hall of Presidents versus Lincoln at Disneyland.
Okay. All right.
So see which patriotic thing comes out on top, if anything.
Hell yeah.
The Bantha Boys over at Bantha Milk Podcast, they have a new episode around the Dejarik table, and the PuniPod folks, they just put out their review of the entirety of Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wow.
That's going to be a big one. They always kind of come back and do a whole review of things, and they're probably, as I understand it, going to spend some time doing silly things like reviewing non-Marvel movies like Fast and the Furious 3, I think is what Ryan won in his bet with David.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
Yeah. And that's the other shows on the network.
I love it.
Nice.
I love it. All right. Well,
Ryan confirms Tokyo Drift.
Now we're going to get out of here, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning into this show. I do appreciate it. Like I said, I think we are skipping out on our first show for March, but then when we come back, we're going to be talking about our trip to Disneyland, which, in case you don't know, we haven't been since 2019. And I'm excited about. I'm excited to talk to you about it, and that's about the level of excitement I can get to. I'm excited to see friends of mine and stay at the Disneyland Hotel, and that's, everything else will just be a blur of waiting in line, staring at the back of someone else's head, and crying internally while smiling at my child.
And
eating a Matterhorn macaroon.
Under your breath.
Yes, right. Well, that's the beauty about wearing masks, is you can talk to yourself and you can mutter, and you don't have to worry about what other people might be thinking about you. I do it all the time in the store. Like when I'm just walking around, and I realize, oh my God, I'm muttering. And I go, yeah, it's fine.
It's kind of like a tent where
Nobody knows.
people can still hear you.
Yeah, well, but I do it quietly enough.
Okay,
it's
well,
fine. Yeah, I'm a mutterer. I'm a good mutterer. You don't even know. All right, everyone. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you want to learn more about the shows and everything we do here, go to EarzUp-podcast.com. Check it out. Links to our merchandise, which I think I just put on all our t-shirts for sale on Etsy or whatever. So check it out. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. And until next time, we'll see you in the parks. Oh, also, if you're going to be in Disneyland, when are we going? The
4th and 5th.
4th and 5th. Yeah, look for us, man. Come say hi. Yeah, that's all. Bye.
Hooray.